Hi, Tiffany. How are you? How's it going? Welcome back to my independent bookstore. It's been so long and I have missed you. Today we have something that I've been really excited for. I have been wanting to film this video for so long, and I'm finally doing it. I'm so excited. Today's video is in partnership with Alphabet Soup. They were kind enough to send me these books and I'm so excited. You know, Tiffany, how I'm like gay or whatever. I like girls, like a lot. I like women. I saw this little independent bookstore in my city at like a few shows. They had like booths at like a few places. Do you know what I mean? At like a few markets, I guess. They were called Alphabet Soup. Alphabet Soup is run by this girl named Kaitlyn, who is an icon. A queen? What do you know, Tiffany? Alphabet Soup is 100% a queer-owned, queer bookstore. It's based in my city, which is Edmonton, Alberta. I live in Edmonton. Hello. Hi. In Canada. Kaitlyn runs her independent queer bookstore out of Edmonton online and also in person at like select markets and stuff like that. I contacted Kaitlyn because I was like, Kaitlyn, Kate, can I call you Kate? I am obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with your store. Like, I love that you sell queer books and that it's like a thing. So basically Kaitlyn sent me these books so I could talk to you about her bookstore and give you a few recommendations. And also what's really cool about Kaitlyn and Alphabet Soup is that she's giving us a little discount code. She was like, Jordaline, do you want to change lives? And I said, Kaitlyn, Katie, yes I do. I think I do. If you're interested at all in checking out Alphabet Soup, which I think you should, because first of all, they're queer owned, they're a small business, and it's just great. Who doesn't love to see gay people win? I want to see that, and you do too. I know you do. Unfortunately though, she only ships within Canada right now. She's looking to make it international eventually, but right now it's just in Canada. But if you do order from her, you can get 10% off with my code JordalineReads10. And if you live in Edmonton or like the Edmonton area, you can choose free local pickup or get free shipping on orders over $100. Let me show you the things I got from Alphabet Soup. And maybe, I don't know, you could like get them too and then we could be like twins or like match or whatever. Is this our meet cute? I think it is. Also, Alphabet Soup is the first queer only bookstore in Alberta. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's out of focus, but that's good because you don't need to see exactly what's going on. This is like a box of secrets, okay? First things first, I have Hell Followed With Us and also The Spirit Bares Its Teeth. These are part of the same series, or maybe it's a duology. I know, Tiffany, that literally everyone that I've ever talked to about this has said that they love it. Honestly, can I be honest? I wasn't sold. I don't know if I like the cover. I don't know if the cover is for me. This cover, I think I like more, but this one, I'm like, whatever. That's kind of what stopped me from picking these up. But I've heard so many good things about them that I was like, you know what? Take a chance. I'm a smart fat girl. This is about Benji. Benji's on the run from this cult that he like escaped from. The cult was like super weird and kind of caused the apocalypse. So Benji is like running away, trying to get away from these freako people because they want to use him as like some kind of weapon. They injected some weirdo tippy dippy thing inside of Benji and like he's like really not about it. He's kind of bummed about it, honestly, because he thinks it's like gonna like turn him into a monster, because like that's kind of like what this whole cult thing does apparently. One day Benji is like almost killed by these like monsters that were like born from the cult, I think. He luckily escapes them with the help of these like gay kids. These gay kids are like, hey, we're gay kids and we're like a team or like a group or whatever. And so they invite him to join them. The leader of this group is named Nick, and he's like autistic and also like really hot, apparently, according to Benji. Nick and Benji are like vibing. And Nick finds out that Benji's probably going to turn into like some kind of monster because of the thing that was like injected into him. Nick would probably be pretty smart to be like, okay, you can actually like leave because you're super dangerous. But instead, Nick is like, listen, if you can like chill out, if you can control this thing that's inside of you, we'll let you stay. And so he's like, fine. Okay, fine. I'll try to control it as long as I can stay. However, Benji discovers that there's like something really suspicious about this leader, about Nick. And apparently he has his own hidden agenda and more than a few secrets of his own. It kind of seems like Nick is maybe like part of the cult or something maybe. So this is the first book. This is the second book. And I'm very excited to read these. I might honestly read them soon. And of course, you can get these for 10% off on Alphabet Soup with code JordanLineReads10. I think, should we just talk about these? Let's talk about these. So this is book 2 and 3. I already own book 1, but these are Prince's Gambit and also King's Rising by C.S. Pacat. You may know, Tiffany, that I read Dark Rise and was absolutely blown away by it. Like, you know that about me. You've seen that video. You've seen the videos of me freaking out about it. So I needed to know what the hype was about these books too, because when I was looking up like gay fantasy, these were talked about a lot. Spoiler alert, I've already read them. In case you don't know, these are about this guy whose name is Damon. He gets like sold into slavery basically by his family. They like betray him. It's like super rude. And he gets sent to this dude's country where they're all like freaky deaky and they'd like have slaves. And so he's sold into slavery and becomes this guy's slave. Basically him dealing with this guy who is the worst. I have already read these and I'm gonna be honest with you, Tiffany, not my favorite. The first book was honestly my favorite book, but you can get them at Alphabet Soup if you are interested. These covers are absolutely stunning, dude. I think it's the same artist who does Dark Rise who did these covers as well. Let's do this one. Next up, we have Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland. I'm obsessed with Alexandra. Why did I say that weird? One of my favorite books of last year, which was Taste of Gold and Iron. And she has this book out. And like, listen, I've been kind of hesitating on this one specifically because I hate the cover. Because like, when you look at this and then you compare it to what we fucking had, that's crazy. What were they thinking? I hate this cover so much. But I love Alexandra Rowland and I know that she probably is gonna keep me fed when I read this. You know, a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do. The inside says that this is for fans of Our Flag Means Death, which love, and that it's a low fantasy on the high seas. We're following this guy named Avra. Avra has maybe accidentally stolen this thing. It's like a very powerful secret that he's like stolen. And there's nowhere really for him to run other than like the high sea where his ex-boyfriend is, because his ex-boyfriend's like a pirate? Listen, they kind of ended things on bad terms. It's not great, but he has to like go out to the ocean, onto the sea, look for his ex-boyfriend. When they see each other again, it's not exactly like sunshine and rainbows, but they figure like, okay, if we can like get this to a certain island, the Isles of Lost Souls, they can like profit from it, right? They can cash out basically. Only thing in the way is a calculating new ambassador to the Isles of Lost Souls who's got his eyes on Avra's every move. Brother Julian. Honestly, Brother Julian kind of sounds hot. He's a beautiful, mysterious new member of the crew with secrets of his own and a frankly inconvenient vow of celibacy. The fact that they're sailing straight into sea serpent breeding season and almost certain doom. If they can find a way to survive and sell the secret on the black market, they'll all be wealthy as kings, and more importantly, they'll be legends. I feel as though we don't see pirates enough in books, and I feel like we specifically don't see enough like butt pirates in books. Do you remember being 12 and like a butt pirate was the funniest thing you'd ever heard? I do. This sounds fun. This sounds cute. It kind of sounds spicy too, which I'm really into because I kind of want Alexandra Rowland to choke me and spit in my mouth, but like in the most respectful way possible. And I'm hoping that's what she does with this book. And again, you can get this for 10% off with code JordanLineReads10 on Alphabet Soup. Let's talk about Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. This cover, Tiffany, is absolutely crazy. Look how beautiful that is. The back, oh, this should be illegal. I follow the author of this on Instagram and her feed, bro, is crazy. It's so beautiful. Like seeing her on my timeline gives me the joy that I need in my life personally. Anyway, this is about this guy named Andrew. Andrew finds refuge in like fairy tales and stuff, but he also finds refuge in this guy named Thomas. Thomas, I think, like goes away or something for like the summer to see his family, but he comes back to school. This is like a dark academia horror novel. He comes back to school. Andrew is like, hell yeah, Thomas, woo. But Thomas is like not the vibe right now. He's not really like himself. And so Andrew is like, that's weird. So he's like, Thomas, girly pop, what happened? What's wrong? But Thomas like refuses to talk to Andrew about it because Thomas just shows up with like blood on his sleeve. And so Andrew is like suspicious. So Andrew notices that Thomas is like going outside. Like at night, he finds Thomas outside battling monsters. Which sounds crazy, Tiffany. It sounds crazy, but he's like battling monsters that he's created because Thomas is like a little artsy guy, right? He loves art. Thomas has been drawing these monsters and they're coming to life and he's like battling them. He has to like destroy them. And so Andrew starts helping him destroy these monsters. It's weird. It's kind of like Pokemon, but if you had to kill them, you know what I mean? What really freaks Andrew out though is that it seems like the only way to get rid of these monsters, to get rid of these creations, is to destroy the creator. So Andrew might have to like destroy his boyfriend, even though he's not his boyfriend as far as we know. I feel as though Andrew has feelings for Thomas, but like whatever. I'm so excited to read this. You know me, Tiffany. I love dark academia and I love horror. And I also love a good, beautiful cover. So how could I lose? You could also get this on Alphabet Soup and get 10% off with the code JordaLineReads10. Just saying. I'm just saying. I saw this book on like a whim and I thought, why is no one talking about this? Why is nobody creating content specifically for its book? Because this sounds so fucking good. Me personally, I need it. Till the Last Beat of My Heart by Luangi Beaumontes. Tiffany, look at that cover. Are you fucking joking? It says on the inside, when you grow up in a funeral home, death just becomes another part of life. But our main character, Jackson, it's not really like that much a part of his life. Like he's like aware of it. He knows that like his mom is a mortician. And so whenever somebody dies in their town, they usually come through his house. It's not a thing that like lingers in his mind. Do you know what I mean? He's gotten really, really used to it until his best friend Christian passes away and his body is brought to the house. Now, Christian was Jackson's best friend, but also Jackson's crush. Like Jackson had feelings for him. And so now his like potential boyfriend is dead. Or is he? Jackson accidentally brings him back to life, like accidentally reanimates him with some kind of like magic fippy dippy thing. You know, Jackson like doesn't understand it. Jackson's like, I didn't know I could do that. That's crazy. Kind of happy about it because now my hot potential boyfriend is like backing at him, okay? However, Jackson begins to learn that maybe this is from like his dad's side and that this power has been passed down generation to generation and now it's Jackson's turn. But what's also kind of a bummer is he realizes that like the longer that Christian is now alive again, the less time he seems to have. Christian is probably gonna end up like again. Jackson recognizes that stepping into an inherited power may also mean opening up old family wounds. If Christian dies, comes back to life, and then dies again, I think I will cry for 16 hours straight. Just imagine that this is the kind of book that would make me sob. And I love it, but I also hate it. I'm like into it, but I'm also afraid. Like it's that kind of vibe. I'm really excited to read this. I just know that it's gonna be like the gayest, cutest, saddest thing I've ever read in my entire life. And I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's talk about Bad Graces. This is by Kyrie McCauley. Look at this cover, Tiffany. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my God. Did I want this book because of the cover? Mainly. But also I read the synopsis and it sounds really, really cool. So in this, we're following Liv. Liv is kind of a fuck up. She gets tossed to foster home to foster home. She kind of just like can't keep it together. And so she's thinking in her head, like, I need a way to start over. I need a way to reevaluate things, get back to what I love doing, which is not being in trouble. Liv decides to steal her like goody two-shoes sister's identity. Liv is like, yes, my name is Susan, whatever her sister's name is, and people believe her. And she gets offered an internship for this like movie. And rather than like flying her to, you know, wherever they're shooting the movie, they instead are like, you're gonna go on a yacht with a bunch of celebrities and like Olympians. I don't know why Olympians, it's weird, but whatever. So Liv is on this yacht, it's very fancy, pretending to be somebody else and also schmoozing and boozing, maybe not boozing, but schmoozing up to these like celebrities, right? As they're starting to get to know each other, all these people, there's a shipwreck. There's a storm and the ship fucking wrecks, okay? Onto this island that's like deserted, nobody's there. And everybody's kind of panicking, right? Of course they would, because there's the whole thing of like exposure, exhaustion, starvation, etc., etc. On top of all of that, there seems to be something on the fucking island that's like hunting them, which is kind of spooky, kind of creepy. And they find that like the more that they get injured on the island, the less human they become. With little hope for rescue and only each other as their final tether to humanity, will they lose themselves to their darker natures, or will they learn to love the monstrous parts of themselves? I hate that. I love a fight for your life horror book. That's like my favorite thing in the whole world. You know that about me, Tiffany. So I'm really excited to read this. I also love like I'm a bad person and then horror things happen. This is also gay. I don't know how it's gay, but it's gay. Also, if you are interested in picking it up, you're like, oh, where am I going to get it? Where will I purchase this book? Maybe from Alphabet Soup for 10% off. Using code Jordaline Reads 10. The last book we're going to talk about, Tiffany, is Lockjaw. This is by Matteo L. Cirilli. The moment I heard about this, the moment I saw it, I thought, yeah, I'm gonna need that in every single color. It sounds like exactly the kind of middle grade book that I would eat up. Chuck Warren is dead. He's been dead for a little bit, and he died like a horrible, gruesome death at the old abandoned mill. However, our girl, Paz, knows that that didn't happen, knows that that's not true. She knows that Chuck was killed by the monsters that live underneath her town. And Paz is on a mission to hunt these monsters down and kill them. And she's gonna do it with her friends who are bound by a childhood pact stronger than diamonds. It says that this is a small town ghost story where monsters living and dead haunt the streets, the homes, and the minds of the inhabitants. Lockjaw will grab you and never let you go. It sounds cool as fuck, and the cover is badass, bro. I love the cover. I can't wait to read this. And if you're interested in reading it and checking it out, check out Alphabet Soup, a exclusively queer bookstore that's like a small business and like independent. It's like really cool. Okay, my friends, my family, my familia. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and watching me talk about these books that I got from Alphabet Soup. Thank you so much to Alphabet Soup for working with me on this video and for sending me these books. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to read them. I hope you guys check them out. Kaitlyn is literally the coolest person. I hope that we can support small businesses, specifically businesses that are owned by queer people, because hello, queer artists deserve to be artists. Once again, even though I've said it 7,000 times this video, check out Alphabet Soup, use code Jordaline Reads 10, get 10% off your order, only in Canada, unfortunately, or if you're in Edmonton, you can like do like a local pickup. Again, it's a queer owned, queer exclusive bookstore, and it's just the coolest, okay? It's just the coolest. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for watching this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit, talk about creepy shit, talk about Alphabet Soup and shit, and being gay. Thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. I would love to know your opinion. Okay, bye. I'll see you later, Tiffany. Take care of yourself. Goodbye. Au revoir. Bye. Bye.